First things first, how are you?
Hi, yeah, we're quite happy.
Tired, bit, but
Tired? How
happy.
come?
Have to get up early, long time on the road.
And we just got back from Japan. I'm in Hamburg. We were in Hamburg last week, and before that we were in Tokyo. And
yeah. But jet lag is over now, it's okay.
Do you ever get used to that? Because as a band you travel a lot, around a lot. Do you get used to it?
Not me. He's really good at it. I'm really grumpy, and
Yeah.
once per month
I'm
I
happy.
am.
I mean, now we're in France and everything is fine, right?
He's always happy.
I know, it's not France, right?
But I can imagine if you travel a lot and you sit on buses, planes, and then you have to muster up the energy to perform. So what is that like? What is the preparation before a show like?
I don't know where it comes from, but before shows I always have the feeling like the whole day, oh, I can't do it, I can't, no, I just can't, it's the end of the world. And then there comes this spark and before the show, and then you play and you have the energy. And
Yeah.
I don't know where it comes from. I don't really want to know as long as it's there.
But the thing is, with the job as being a musician, it means that you're doing at least 90% of other stuff that you just hate doing, especially people that like to do music, you know, organize stuff, you know, organize the whole, the practice, driving there, transporting all the instruments, then organizing the gigs and the hotels and everything. I mean, we got people helping us doing that, of course. But still, you need to be in you know, in that organization, and that is pretty tough sometimes. And then you get on stage, and the second it starts, you have this rush, like you're bungee jumping or something, and it's worthwhile.
Yeah, and then you realize it's just music, and then finally you can do what you
want to do.
What you want to do.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask them, because what makes it worth it? Is it that hour on stage that makes you go through 90% of things that you do?
Right before the gig we say, no, fucking why are we doing this? And afterwards we're like the happiest people. Yeah, it's a drug. Okay. It's a drug, I think. Yeah. Especially for me, it's more the songwriting, though. Okay. You're more like the rock and roll guy. You love the stage and everything. I'm a little bit more shy.
I love when things come together, and mostly it's on stage, yeah. But I also like writing, and I like good days in music.
Right.
Sometimes you have bad days and bad gigs or bad recordings, but good days are always good.
Well, I was gonna say you can't force which one is which. Right?
No, you can't. No.
So that's interesting. So I'd like to go back to the beginning a little bit, and Thorunn, I'll start with you. So when did you realize that music had this effect on you, or that songwriting could have this kind of addictive element?
Well, as a kid, I was playing the flute in the bathroom. I was sitting on the toilet and playing the flute, and there was these, you know, when I was a kid, we always had these, what do you call it, like the tiles, and it was a really great sound. I actually knew then, wow, I really love this. But back then I always thought, being on stage, that's just for superstars, and superstars are born superstars. You know, there's no way you can go on stage, because that's people that got born to do it. And it was not until I was 18 or something that I realized it doesn't matter, I can do it. So yeah, it started very early, the need to do it, but to realize it came later. I don't know, for you, you probably came out with a guitar. I could imagine.
No, I can't remember anymore, but it must be something like that.
But see, were you always
well, I played like my first concert, I think 3 weeks after I bought my first bass guitar or something, yeah. Okay. I just wanted to do it, you know. We had to play the set twice because we had like a 15-minute set, and it was over before it was over, and then we played like 2 times the same concert, but I grew into that, so it was like music was always on stage somewhere, somehow. Even if you don't know what to play, you just play.
You just go up there and see what happens. So, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So Mike, when did you first hear Thorunn sing, or when did you first hear
in 2015. Okay. It's not that far ago. It was a festival in Luxembourg where I played with another band, and there was a band playing after us. And I said, oh, who are these guys? Why are they playing after me? And a friend of mine said, oh, go and watch them, they are great. Yeah, go and they are very great. And I trusted him, and I went there. And I saw her sing, and I said, oh man, It's very, very nice. It's very good. So it got me just glued on this chair where I was sitting, and I couldn't stand up, just listening. And then I felt the urge to tell her, I don't know you, but your music made something to me. And we had a beer together, and then we met and we jammed a bit. And
2 weeks later, actually, you joined me to France. We were playing at, what was it again?
Francophonie.
Yeah, Francophonie. We were playing there.
The thing is, I played there on a keyboard, and she convinced me in 2 weeks to buy a keyboard and to learn to play.
In 2 weeks, you know that he wrote the notes down. He wrote them.
I still have it.
C, D,
because I didn't have time to remember which notes are on which thing, so I write them on them. It's okay. I mean.
But Thor, for you, were you looking for somebody to join you?
Well, well, the thing is, I was working with a couple of guys at that moment, and they were living so far away, and it was so, this organization thing is really difficult when you have people living 200 miles away, you know, so, and I had 3 of them, no, wait, 2 guys living really far away, and the drummer at that time was really busy because he's a great drummer, and hi Jeff. And so I knew that I was a little bit in this, it's going to be difficult keeping these guys together. And so Mike came along and brought Thomas, a drummer. So that was 2 years ago. And now I think we've already traveled twice around the globe together.
Maybe, yeah.
We don't play that much, but when we do, we
play very far.
Yeah, we always very far away.
But obviously being on tour is a certain way of life, so, and this might be a big question, but what have you learned from each other in those past 2 years, kind of being in the same room so much? Don't
take everything too seriously.
Well, you've never done that, I do. No. He's telling me what I've learned.
Okay, well, what should I learn then?
No, actually, I think this is a great question. We've never been asked this, but this is something that is, you must be a musician, because this is something that is so big in the internal, behind the wall and the faces. I've learned a lot, actually. I'm still not, I still can't believe, you know, how if you want to grow, you know, with your heart and everything, then you should become a musician and go on tour with other people, because you really get to know yourself. The ugliest sides of yourself, which actually inspire you to write new songs.
Well, that's exactly, because how does that then, because you, like you say, you encounter kind of confronting things about yourself, about the music that you make. So when there's off time, does that all go into the music and? Yeah,
for me anyways, I'm super sensitive, and if there's something, and I guess that's what's helping me with my vocals. I feel very intensively things, and I have a strong opinion about everything. And when you're like that, and you're traveling, and you're living from your bag, and you're in a hotel, and you're far away from home, yeah, I mean, that does inspire you to go on the piano and just let it all out.
Is that easy to do? And we kind of mentioned performing, but to open yourselves up to other people in a way, because obviously anyone can listen to the song, anyone can see you perform, so to open a personal part of yourself up to people, did that come easy?
Not in the beginning. Now I have no problem with it. In the beginning I sometimes even felt a little bit, I felt not ashamed, it's not the word, but you know, like when you're saying things about yourself, and I was like, oh, but I've gotten over it. I just say it's art, and anything is allowed. And if not there, where can I express, you know, the real things?
Sure. So, and I always ask this when I have multiple people. So, Mike, do you know what every song is about? That I'm going into Glow now. Do you know what the songs are about? Because you do spend a lot of time with me.
Yes, yeah, most of them, yes, because we were talking about the song, and also, I mean, few lyrics are on second degree and stuff, but yeah, I know I'm not a studio musician. I know where to put my notes on, right, and which feeling. You cannot express like a feeling without knowing which feeling it has to be, even if it's not mine.
So you discuss those kind of elements in the song?
Yeah, we actually do. I think that we've talked a lot about it. Where
especially the song like Daughter. You told me so much about it.
Yeah, I keep talking about my daughter.
But also about the song, what does it make feel and stuff.
Yeah, I think though that what's important with our songs is not go on the first degree the whole time. We always look for a little bit. I see it like in the snow, leaving traces, but not like obvious traces, because I think that's more poetic and lovelier.
Yeah, and I think it's easier for people, or not only for people but for everyone, to feel with the song when you can use the words for yourself.
Sure.
And it works better on a second degree.